How to unbox your new Soho reformer. For starters, you're just going to need a normal old pair of scissors. We're going to cut through these straps. Box will come apart nice and easily. Take the lid off, we'll take the sides off. We'll set the sides and the top aside to one side. You may use those again just as a tabletop. It's nice and sturdy for using that. Remove all your polystyrene, your plastic bag around the reformer as well. Just gives you a little bit more room, a little more access to it so that you can work on it in place. Okay, so the next step we're going to do with removing your reformer is we actually take your carriage off. Removing the carriage makes it a little bit lighter, makes it a little bit more manageable for you. Underneath your carriage, it doesn't hurt to check and make sure that your springs are all located in the correct positions, and also that all of the polystyrene is removed from underneath, so around your wheel areas, that sort of thing, before you put it back together again. Okay, small bits of polystyrene that you have to remove. You don't want those in there. They will foul up against your reformer when you are installing it or when you start using it, and they make a horrible noise as well. So we'll remove the box out. And we'll just set that aside for now. Down this end of your reformer, you may not be able to see it very well, but you have your foot bar. Your foot bar is actually attached via a couple of zip ties around your rear wheels. So we're going to need your scissors again just to cut those zip ties off and free it. What we're going to do now is just stand your reformer up, and in that upright position you should be able to quite easily remove it from the bottom of the box. And we can just stand it up and it'll sit there nice and happily while you continue doing a few other bits and pieces, a bit more of an unwrapping as well, and getting things set up. Okay, next step we're going to do is we're going to go back to our box and we'll cut this one open. This has a few vital bits and pieces in there that we need to fit to the reformer and also to the frame itself, so that we can use the reformer. Okay, we're looking for our Pilates accessories box. It's the smaller box inside the large cardboard box. Inside there you'll find your toolkit. Inside your toolkit you'll find necessary tools that you need to continue with installation and the setup. You'll also find your shoulder pad pins to lock them in, and also your carriage pins. Carriage pins are a vital thing to install into the frame. This ensures that your carriage doesn't slam into the very end of the frame, damaging your springs. In actual fact, we're going to put these in first, just so you can see where they go. At this point in time, we'll put them in the very end location. They should just clip in there nice and easily. This is towards your spring end here. Also inside your box you'll find this long spring cables. This is, when you fit them, this helps you to lift the machine and fold the machine up in place. So what you'll find is you've got 2 points on either side, here and here, and on the other side, which you may not see so easily, here and here. So what we're going to do with these two cables, we'll go with one set at a time. You clip one into one side of the reformer, like so, and then the other one in the diagonal opposite spot on the other side of the reformer, which you should be able to see here. And with our second spring assembly, it's a reverse procedure, but on the same option, the same idea. Clip it into this side first, at the top, and on the opposite side, you clip it into the bottom location. This then means it's easier for you to fold your reformer when it's not in use. Okay, we're at the point where what we'll do is we'll actually set your reformer down into its working position. So you have two clips, you have one clip on either side, these ones here. The idea of this is to stop it from inadvertently opening up when it's in the storage position. So we'll just flick that one open and then you're all good to go. There's one on either side. Now we're going to assemble up the foot bar onto your reformer. You need to make sure that you cut off all the zip ties, all the tape, and get your padding off from down the sides of your foot bar. This might take a few minutes, so we're going to cut the video just to make it a little bit quicker for you. Okay, once you've cut off all the packaging from your foot bar, we're going to use the 8mm Allen key, which is in your toolkit, and we're going to fit it off to the end of the reformer. So you've got these two bolts, one on either side, that you need to undo. They have a spring washer in there, which you'll need to refit again when you put the foot bar on. It's quite easy to do. Just take your bolts off on both sides of the reformer. You can do this part one at a time. Line the first locking pin up on the centre or top position of your foot bar, and what we'll do is insert your bolt into the foot bar, but before the bolt goes all the way through, you need to reinsert the spring washer in between the foot bar and the frame of the reformer itself. For starters, you can just do this one up to finger tight and then move to the other side of the reformer and do the same thing. Once you have both bolts in place, just finger tight, then use your Allen key to make the bolts nice and tight. They don't have to be incredibly firm, but just firm enough that they will hold the bar in place. Once you've done each of the bolts up firmly, just push in your locking tabs and make sure that your foot bar moves nice and smoothly and locks automatically into place as soon as you let them go. This way you know you've got it fitted correctly. Now we're going to install our carriage into the reformer. So when you're putting your carriage into the reformer, you want to make sure that you have it around the correct location, or the correct way around. This is with the springs facing towards the foot bar. The carriage should fit in there nicely and also move nice and freely when you do it. With your stoppers in place, it means that your springs aren't going to clang or crash into the end of the reformer and cause damage on it. So this is an important part, to make sure that you have those stoppers in place. Going back to our cardboard box that has all the accessory parts in, we're going to get out your shoulder blocks and we'll install those. Your shoulder blocks are nice and easy. They just sit in the slots on the head end of the carriage, and then you push them back towards the head end and you'll see that there's a hole that lines up with them. From there you grab your locking pins, which are these, and they literally just screw into place to hold your shoulder block in place there nice and securely. Again, they don't have to be overly tight, just firm enough that the block doesn't move under normal movement. So we're just going to do the same with the second block. And again, into the holder on the carriage, and then you move it backwards towards the head area and put your locking pin in place. Also in our accessory box we have the platform and platform extender. These are all wrapped up as well, wrapped individually. You can either fit them now or you can fit them later. Although you will need your platform in there. Your platform, which is the one that has the two magnets on, goes right at the very end underneath the foot bar. So you see it just sits in there and will just pull itself into place in the correct position, which is really nice. With your platform extender, that goes in between your carriage and your platform itself. Most classes that you'll do online, you probably won't need the extender, but for aesthetic purposes it actually looks quite nice and quite smart if it's in place when you're not using it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the rise bars. Nice and easy to install. Just unpack them out of their bubble wrap, and then they go down the opposite end of the reformer into the tube holders here. You'll find on the back that there are two locking bolts. You just do those up firm. Again, they don't need to be incredibly tight, just nice and firm to hold them in place. So once you've done up your first riser bar, put the second one in. Make sure your pulleys are facing towards the reformer. Just makes it easier for using them. Inside your main box you'll find two ropes. We're going to fit those up, and along with those we also need your double loop handles as well. which are these two. What we're going to do is we're going to use the loose end of the rope, we're going to feed it through the pulley system and then back towards the reformer. What we'll do is we'll do this side first, maybe easier for you to see. So down through the pulley and then just pull it back towards the reformer. On the side of the carriage you'll see that there's two loops and also a cleat assembly. You need to place the rope through the first loop and then through the cleat system and then through the second loop and then pull it through that way. What we'll do now is we'll put the loop in place, the double loop. Feed the double loop through the rope, curl it over, feed it through the loop of the double loop and then pull it back through. You'll see it holds it nice and firmly in there, nice and snugly, and then leave it onto your shoulder block post. From here what you can do is you can just pull up a little bit of tension on that rope just to stop it from dangling on the ground. And we'll install the second one on the opposite side. So again, through the pulley, through the first hoop, through the cleat and through the second hoop, and pull it up just a little bit. With your double loop handle, place the loop handle through the loop on the rope and then put the handle through its own loop and then pull it tight. And just firm up that rope tension just by pulling the loose end of the rope through the cleat system, which will hold it. Once you've got these loose ends, the easiest way to tie these off is you put them round behind the block post. Get a fair amount of leftover rope here, and all we're going to do is we'll just tie it off in a loop. By tying it off in a little bit of a loop, what it means that it won't drag along the floor, and you can just sort of tuck it underneath the headrest there. That way it keeps it out of the way for your head. It also means that it's not dragging on the floor while you're operating the reformer. Also in your wee accessory pack you have a double loop. The double loop is for your feet, so it's your foot strap. That goes again down at the foot bar end of the reformer and just clips through two little loops, two wee silver loops at the end of the reformer. Like so. Now we're going to show you how to make up your jump board. So this will have arrived in its own cardboard box, separate to the box that your reformer has arrived in. We're going to cut it open for starters, and we'll remove the jump board from the box. And take the bubble wrap off. Now what we'll do is we'll sit it down on top of the carriage, cushion to cushion. You'll see that it has 4 bolts already installed on it and space for another 4 bolts. So we're going to be installing the brackets onto the 2 extra bolt holes on either side. You want to make sure that you have the handle for the jump board away from you on this process, and then that way we'll get the legs on in the right places. So they will have arrived inside your box with your jumping box. We'll just remove those and fit those up. You'll see they have a plastic cover at one end, so that plastic cover goes towards the head end or towards the handle end of your jump board. Attached to one of those legs are 4 Allen bolts with washers on them. So what we'll do is we'll fit up those bolts So you have 4 of them like this, just into the holes, and then do them up finger tight one at a time. And then with your Allen key, which is your 5mm Allen key, we'll put that into the bolts, and we'll do those up firm for starters, just on the small side. And then what we can do is we can then tension them up a little bit more, just to finish them off. We'll do the same on this side as well. When you're wanting to use your jump board on your reformer for an exercise, this is how you fit it up. So you remove your platform off the end of your reformer, fold down your foot bar. You'll see that there's 2 square holes at the end of your reformer. You fit your jump board into those holes, like so, and then make sure that you then put your foot bar up against that footboard. That just provides extra support for your footboard so that you don't have any unforeseen incidents with the footboard coming loose. Next step, the last thing out of this big box is your sitting box, which is all nicely wrapped up. You just remove this wrapping off it. And that's all good to go as well. Finally, you want to remove all the plastic covering off your cushions. You need to be careful not to use anything sharp on them, because you will damage the cushion. That won't be covered under warranty if you damage it that way. Nice and easy, just use your fingers just to pick up an edge, like so, and then you can just tear the covering off. And there you have it, your reformer's all ready to use. You're going to love it.